Hello everyone, my name is Harry, aka Cilantro Slumber, and this is the part 2 of my Lost Wave video series. So if you haven't seen part 1, where I talk about how I first got into Lost Wave and about finding Waste My Time, you can check it out in the description. I recommend that you do. But in this video, I'm going to talk about everything that has transpired since then. So when I was working on Waste My Time, I was also pursuing a side case called Uptown People. You might know that it's been solved now. And I would just send off the occasional email when communication on Wastes My Time was sort of radio silent. The main thing that kind of interested me about Uptown People, it's a little bit different than Waste My Time. I was into Waste My Time because the music was so good. I just wanted to hear more of it and I wanted to get to know the artist more. Uptown People, while the song was pretty good, I was mainly into it because of the research. Hearing that it was from a New York City radio station in the 1980s. I'm a huge art history nerd, and I really like one of my favorite art scenes is 1980s New York City. Basquiat, Herring, Lichtenstein, Warhol, all of those artists, Fab Five Freddy. And so doing this research, it would, give me an excuse to just look up more of that. I had already reached out to a few people at Obitorlio, Kid Creole and the Coconuts, and Curtis Blow, basically because of a movie called Downtown 81, which again was from the scene, and it's a movie that I love a lot. And it's an art film, and it has music in it. Kid Creole and the Coconuts is a funk band that's featured in it, and Ed Obitorlio is the director. So I thought it would be good to reach out to them. And after I had solved Waste My Time and I moved on to Uptown People as a main case, I started getting a lot of Reddit DMs, which was kind of the first time I had ever gotten a Reddit DM that wasn't just a bot saying, "Hey, cutie, check out my campsite or whatever." First sincere Reddit DMs that I had gotten, and I got one from a person named Chadwick, and he and a collaborator named Braze Blue had previously worked on a case called Look at the Sun, which was later solved as Steve and Edie's We the People Need Love, which is a banger. They asked me if I was interested in collaborating with them to look for Uptown People, and I thought that was pretty funny because I'd already started working on it. And of course, I said yes, and so we got right to it. Chadwick and Ray's Blue were mainly certain that the song was either funk or jangle pop, and I was more inclined to think it was old school hip hop just because of the sound of the snippet. I don't know why. I just, didn't have that much experience, or I didn't like branch out with my theories as much. We each, did our research, looking through playlists, emailing, contacting, and then about a week later it was solved to be Dolce Vita's Break Down Those Walls from 1984. And so, of course, the suddenness of that solving took me off course because, I had gotten so involved in Uptown People, I didn't pick out another side case. So I was basically left with nothing. And so I had to quickly think of one that I was like interested in. And I chose a case called One Love, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But then I stumbled upon a YouTube channel called Snow Leopard, which I will link their two videos down in the description, because they had a couple of videos about Lost Wave cold cases. And those videos interested me mainly because they were just kind of like a milk crate, so to speak, of, different cases that I could do where I could just sort through the videos and be like, oh, wow, this one looks pretty interesting. Oh, look at this one. Oh, maybe this one. And, just kind of like, pick and choose. I have stumbled upon not just one, not two, not three, but I am working currently on four Lost Wave cases. Am I crazy? I guess so. I've lost my marbles, to be honest. The marbles are gone. The four Lost Wave cases I'm currently working on, I'm going to talk about in order of actually two things. One being from the most to least popular in the Lost Wave community right now. And secondly, in order of, I'm doing this, I'm looking into the song mainly because of the research and looking into that scene of music. And going all the way down to I'm listening to this song or I'm looking for this song because I want to hear more from this artist. This artist is really great and I just personally enjoy it. So the first Lost Wave case I'm working on is One Love, which was recorded around 2013 and it was found on YouTube. I mainly got into this one because it gave me like Disney Channel vibes. Of course, I was born in 2001 and I sort of grew up with like Disney Channel, Sweet Life on Deck, and the, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Jesse. It took me back. It was very nostalgic for me, except for the cursing, of course. Like the cursing's a little off, but otherwise it took me back to that time. And so I wanted to find out more about like the people that kind of make that sort of music. This journey has definitely taken me into a place I didn't expect because currently I'm working on a theory that I am 99% sure it is British R&B, mainly for three reasons. One, the OP of One Love, Samira Korcheny, has a couple of channels where she mainly just uploads R&B from either the US or UK. The second reason being that the song One Love was misattributed to a band called Cover Drive, which I had never heard of until this case, and they're apparently not really chart toppers in the US, but they are like really wildly successful in the UK. Not only was the song, like compared to Cover Drive, it was misattributed to them. And to just kind of illustrate the difference between that, when How Long Will It Take was being searched for, a lot of people were comparing the song to the Cranberries, which is an Irish band, and that led a lot of people to think maybe the singer is Irish. However, it turned out Paul Toledo was Canadian, so that kind of threw people off. However, having this song be misattributed to Cover Drive, it kind of tells me that whoever had this song before Samira was more local to the band that made One Love, and they must have been from a very similar locality. And that means that the person that uploaded it again before Samira, likely knew of Cover Drive and therefore was British. And so that leads me to think that maybe the person that did One Love or the band that did it is also British. And of course, the third reason being a Wikipedia article or excerpt from a Wikipedia article that suggests that in the 2010s, around when the song was made, a lot of British R&B had like electro pop influence. So songs like Down by Jay Sean and Dynamite and Break Your Heart by Tayo Cruz were prime examples of that, and so that all kind of fits the bill of this being a British song. And in terms of actually reaching out to people, I haven't really made a lot of progress. I've gotten a lot of responses of simply "Sorry, I don't know," but I have had a couple of instances, at least two instances, where I've stumbled upon a song from that time period that was called One Love, and it was around 3 minutes and 17 seconds long, and I clicked on it and it was not the song, but I was like very it was interesting to like have that sort of heart attack almost like, oh my gosh, I found oh no. But that's as much progress as I made into it, but I'm still working on it, of course. So the second one I'm working on is called H-Bomb, which was recorded on a CD in 1998 and is supposedly from the 50s. The thing that really drew me to H-Bomb was that it was an anti-war rockabilly song, which, if you think about anti-war, you typically think about like folk or something like that, or punk rock, but never rockabilly. And when you think about rockabilly, you always think of like love songs or songs of being proud of your country or something, but you never think about anti-war. So just the fact that this song was from the 50s, talking about the dangers of hydrogen bombs and atomic bombs, and being that style and also having an accordion is pretty nice. All of that just kind of added up and like made me really interested in finding the song. And this whole search for H-Bomb so far has been pretty interesting. By far I think it's like the least likely to be solved. Obviously being from the 50s, the person that sung it is obviously either dead or is at least in their mid 80s, so either very old or not with us any longer. And also, it's the one that I have contributed the least emails to. I've only reached out to like 4 or 5 people compared to like at least 50 for, One Love and almost that for the two other songs I'm going to talk about. But I've gotten the most responses for that. There was one person I reached out to that talked about a artist named H. Bomb Ferguson, who wasn't the artist I was looking for, but it was interesting to find out about them nevertheless. And finally, from somebody from a radio station in 29 Palms, California, who said that they didn't know who the person was, but they would forward my email to people who knew. And if those people didn't know, they would forward my email again. So yeah, I started an email chain about H-Bomb. So hopefully something comes of it. Any insight obviously is good, even if it's not, like the identity of the artist. So to reiterate, those two songs I'm looking into because I like the research, but these next two songs I'm looking into because I personally enjoy the songs and I want to hear more of these artists. So the third song is a song called StreetSlang, which was recorded sometime in the 2000s. Supposedly it was taken off of LimeWire, and it is by two rappers from East London. And of course, we know that because rappers they rep their hometowns, and street slang is no different. So I haven't been able to send out too many emails about street slang, but the thing that really kind of made me want to look for it is just the first rapper. The second guy is good, don't get me wrong, but the first guy is when I heard him, whoa, like just his tone was chilling. His wordplay and his flow was just like off the charts. Like I was thinking, this guy really is talented. Like he doesn't sound like a lot of other rappers that I've heard. Like also being socially conscious is a good touch, and it was just a song that I really enjoyed. When I hear this guy, I'd like to hear this guy in a rap battle or like a full on album or mixtape or EP or something. Like this guy's just really cool. But yeah, the second guy's cool too. And of course, it being from East London, hopefully it's a little bit easier to find, but you never know. And finally, to close this off, as a commenter on my last video pointed out, yes, I am looking for We Tie Ourselves to Lives. This is the one that I want to find personally the most. As you could probably tell, I have a type. I just like indie rock a lot. We Tie Ourselves to Lives was also recorded apparently in the 2000s. It was provided to us on YouTube by a user named RMA. It's probably from Spokane, Washington, apparently, but it might not be because I've tried to reach out to a bunch of people from Spokane, and so far I haven't gotten any good responses, but of course I'll keep digging. So there's not much I can really say because I haven't made a lot of progress in the search, but I've been doing a lot of digging, and the song is just generally amazing. Of course, I like, songs like this, but where waste my time or avail and a lot of the Burns' music has like that high energy, and it's kind of like that, you're listening to it when you're feeling like pumped up and stuff, and like you're feeling like, like a positive kind of nostalgia. We Tie Ourselves to Lies is like a lot more of like that kind of sad, emo, soft rock sort of feel, like, Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars or Death Cab for Cutie or something like that. Definitely that kind of grungy, emo kind of feel. I don't know if I'm really describing it, but I do like it for that reason. And so of course I'll keep looking for it. One Love is the only song out of the four that I've mentioned that have a subreddit of their own. The three others, H Bomb, Street Slang, and We Tie Ourselves to Lies, do not have their own subreddits, and they haven't really gotten a lot of attention. If I have any updates, I'll probably post them on the general LOSTWAVE subreddit. Probably also make quick update videos on this channel. Of course, I want to talk about other stuff too. Like I'm interested in other things other than LostWave. Hopefully, you guys can expect a few update videos on these cases, and maybe some more videos on other topics. But yeah, if you guys have anything you'd like to suggest, of course, you can leave them in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.